everybody, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships for a development blog on content rarity and ship rotation here in the game. And guys, I'm probably going to be brutally honest with some of my thoughts, my opinions, mine and my own. But I have a feeling that what we're seeing now in World of Warships is the beginning of the end. And I'll kind of expand on that along the way. And I guess I'll just preface this with why I say that is wargaming is more focused on developing the monetization of World of Warships than they are in terms of actually developing the mechanics of the game and improving multiple things overall in the game. When it comes to priority of development of monetizing the game, it's leagues ahead of actually developing game mechanics, issues, bugs, all these things in the game. And I think one of the notable changes of that is just, to be honest, like we lost the actual development part of the game when World of Warships, Wargaming and Lesson Studios divided. So now when you look at the Russian version of the game with Lesson Studios, like you actually see hardcore development in terms of game mechanics there, where in World of Warships it's just lagged severely. So let's get into this, and you'll kind of understand why. Maybe I'm kind of making more comments on this. So content rarity and ship rotation. Captains, they would like to provide you with a preview of some new features and changes being introduced in the future. As we delve into the details, it's worth highlighting this is a sneak peek with some aspects still in development and thus subject to change or not yet ready to be shared in full detail at this time. This also applies to any images shown. As we get closer to release, additional details are provided in future news articles. So, the first item here is Wargaming is introducing content rarity, where currently the user interface does not always make it clear what level of effort or exclusivity is associated with certain types of content. This can make it difficult to distinguish between items that are widely accessible and those that are tended to be more exclusive or prestigious. For example, players would naturally view some ships as more exclusive than others, such as dockyard ships like the Wisconsin or one-of-a-kind ships like the Kitakami, despite no current in-game interface to indicate as such. However, this primarily came from knowledge that fans of naval history and veteran captains obtained over time, which was not as evident to all of our audience. So to address this, in Update 14.6, they're going to be introducing the content rarity system into the game. It's designed to help captains more easily evaluate differences in items such as ships, camouflages, enemy destruction effects, and potentially additional content in the future by classifying them with a rarity grade visible within the game interface. We recognize that in many games, item rarity is often associated with increased power or performance. However, we want to emphasize that our rarity system is not a reflection of a ship's strength or combat effectiveness. The intention behind the system is providing players with the means to have a better overall understanding of the intended amount of effort needed to acquire content, and if it will be widely accessible or highly exclusive. So, before we kind of go on this table graph, one question I have is who's asking for this? Like, that's just a genuine question. That's not me trying to come across as arrogant. Like, I'm just wonder who's asking. Like, what's the push for this kind of thing, right? Is there something from among the player base wanting something like this, or B, Wargaming introducing this? If you think of it through the lens of monetization, to say if you have such an item is more rare, more difficult to acquire than this other item, then you're automatically kind of creating this artificial system where now you're going to have players who see something that has more of a legendary rarity level grade versus a common or uncommon. You're going to be kind of promoting more of this desire or this fear of missing out. So when you see ships coming into the premium shop or the armory, or through in-game events, and they kind of have this rarity level associated with them, then they'll be like, oh, legendary. Well, I'll never get this again. Fear of missing out. I buy it. Like they did that with Kitakami. And it's really funny that, the one-of-a-kind like Kitakami, because I'm pretty sure Wargaming said that they would never sell Kitakami again, like it'd be an only one-time event when they introduced that ship into the game. And of course, you know, some dockyard ships are rare, but not all of them. Like, there's ways to pick up some of the older dockyard ships now anyhow. So for me, all they're doing is kind of creating this another layer of monetization in the game. So with these rarity levels, you have common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. You know, so let's say common, always or frequently available through regular gameplay, designed to be broadly accessible. So like tech tree ships from tier 1 to tier 10. Uncommon, requires moderately more effort, typically available through recurring events and steady in-game progress. So super ships, previously released regularly available premium ships like Atago, Kosik, including premium ships first released through the event pass like Duplex. Rare, requires dedicated or focused effort via challenging events or long-term commitment. Ships in Steel and Research Bureau categories event-based ships like Tennessee, Dockyard, midpoint ships like Repulse, as well as collaboration content. So like Azure Lane, and I think we have Warhammer 40k right now or something like that in the armory. Epic requires significant time, effort, or high investment, typically limited time and difficult to reobtain. A final reward dockyard ships like Wisconsin and golden ships like Prince van Oranje, G, the golden version of Prince van Oranje. And you have legendary, ultra exclusive content granted for extraordinary effort or dedication. Awaki Alpha, Arkansas Beta, Kitakame, Alabama STVL. So this is like very, very difficult ships that like you probably like you never ever be able to access and get in the game ever again, right? So the rarity grades listed above will apply to the following content. Ships, camouflage, and enemy destruction effects. Kind of interesting to me that they're doing that already with those. Grades will be visually represented through the in-game interface by distinct colors and icons. These interface elements will be visible in the port screen, but not in battle. See the concept images below for examples of how this will look. Let's see. So let's open up these two images. So like, for example, let's just start with these two images. So you have like Stalingrad. They consider Stalingrad a rare item, which would mean like a tier level of 3 out of 5 in terms of difficulty to get. You can see the little icon there, the blue on the side, or something like Kitakame, right? And here you have this with legendary item, the yellow gold, however you want to phrase it. So kind of increasing the level. So we went from a level 3 to get to a level 5, essentially to get, okay? Then we come into something like the tech tree. It's an uncommon item, meaning uncommon, which is the second, so like a super ship. Was that what they were showing here? No, a Tago, because it's shown for doubloons in the tech tree itself. And then what else do we have here? We have a lot of icons. So you have Wisconsin, so you can see this, it's an epic item. So that's like, yeah, level 4. Then here you have a permanent camouflage, an epic item. And then here you see, this would be interesting, a new way of sorting. So they keep like, I feel like they keep expanding this like more and more and more. Or maybe they haven't touched it for a long time, and I'm just, that's probably just because I'm thinking super ships. They've added submarines, then you have more tech tree ships coming to the game, experimental ships. That's kind of what I'm referencing, but now we have a new category being rarity here in the game. So it's like, oh, let me flex and show you my epic ships, right? That kind of example. As one of the Rarity system's core objectives is to prove clarity and consistency, we'll also be implementing a standardized pricing model for direct sales based on the Rarity grade of the content, in addition to remove pricing differences between different ship types. We would like to note that while dockyard ships will have a higher rarity compared to normal available premium ships with the introduction of the system, the overall effort and cost of completing a dockyard will remain in the same as it is presently. Will remain the same as it is presently. I feel like I read that wrong. So how does it work? So the pricing of affected content in the Armory and Premium Shop will be standardized based on rarity grade. The tables below show the levels of rarity available in the Armory and Premium Shop and pricing. The current range column indicates the minimum maximum price range for ships prior to any adjustments from the system. So let's see. So we have about 4 categories here. So you have doubloon price changes, coal price changes, Steel price changes, research points price changes. So basically what you see here, when you have to compare this, let's start with the balloons. They have current range, uncommon, and rare. And so they have those two different categories revolved around the balloon ships. So you can see it's kind of more of a standardized pricing system here they're doing throughout, like, let's say they don't sell any tier 1 ships, but tier 2 through tier 10 in terms of the balloon ships. You can see that tier 10 is coming down. It's kind of deceiving, and I'm going to get into this because basically what's not, like, yes, it's a table chart and it helps explain and break things down, but what's not very clear about this is, like, okay, what about how does this affect price per ship when you stack it all together? And I'm my admin on my Discord server, swell guy, swell chap, very involved in the game for a long time. He posted some information there that I want to read off of, but so take that as the balloons. It's vague. I think at a first glance it looks better, but then you actually have to say, well, how many ships are like 31,000, or how many of those tier 10 are beneath 31,000, right? Coal price changes. Here again, you have a current range, an uncommon, rare, and epic. So for epic coal ships, like, it's a massive jump. Massive jump. And keep in mind that they're going to be introducing this, and they want to introduce this, let's say update 14.6, and I think right now, like, what, we're in 14.4. So if I go to, like, coal ships, and, you know, I'd have to look at the list, if they have a list of ships of what they consider as epic. You know, one of the ships that's really expensive for coal is something like the Black, for 296,000 coal. So here you can see, like, tier 9, most expensive one is 296,000. Now I see 285,000. So what I would guess here is, like, okay, so the most expensive will, if words Black is considered an epic ship, this is actually, regardless, for a tier 9 ship, like, Black will be cheaper to get as of update 14.6. So that's good, or even if it was 215,000, so that's a win for those running Black. Like, I still need to pick up Black. For tier 10, wow, it's quite the jump. So if let's say we only do tier 10 coal ships, so I only have 5 more to get between, you know, Malta, Immelmann, Sub, Trump, Avello, Diabazan, and I'm not really interested in any of these ships. Like, I would want Malta probably to help me with some dockyard tasks with the carpet bombing, just to play in ops or random game modes. Otherwise, like, Trump and then this one. So if I come back into here, like, again, depending on what category they put, like, uncommon is 260,000 coal. Like, we're already right there between the Malta and the Immelmann, and then you have 310,000, and then you have 415,000. So basically, what's going to happen here, the cheapest again, 260,000. Like, all the tier 10 coal ships are going to go up. So depending on your decisions right now, and what I don't like about this, they just released it the other day. The coupon for doubloons and ships just came out. Do you know how many players in the game burn this coupon the day it comes out? I think it actually was today, or maybe it was like late last night my time, because now I'm in Norway, but play on NA. Think of how fast, how many players have probably burned both of these coupons, especially the coal steel, when you can only get it once every 6 months. And then you spend, maybe you spent this on, like, not a tier 10 ship, like a coal ship. You bought like a tier 8 or tier 9, and now you're like, crap, I should have bought a tier 10 ship. Like, it's going to be even more expensive for me to buy something that's considered epic or rare compared to what you have right now, right? But it looks like maybe you win at tier 9 in terms of, like, Nusra, Shimmy, and Black being super expensive. But if I come back here, see, it's, yeah, 180 to 285, so 215 in the middle. So maybe tier 9s are collectively a better price, but 285, how many are going to be bumped up to 285,000 here, right? Maybe just these two are 285, I don't know. Then talk about steel ships. So for current range for tier 9 is 22,000. A rare. And it looks like, yeah, I'm only going to be labeled one category of rare, 21,500. So tier 9 steel ships are going to come down. Let's go to steel. Yeah, I'm blind. Tier 9. I only have Vallejo left. Maybe that's, I don't remember what about tier 10? Yeah, it shows. Okay, so there's only like currently one tier 9 ship available. So, okay. Then you come over to tier 10. You have 27,000, 33,000. It's going to be 31,000. So let's see how many of the tier 10 are more at the lower end. There's one there for 27,000, and now it's going to be 31. I don't know if you're actually coming out ahead there. I'll have to look at this info I have real quick. Quickly, research points, tier 9. Let's go to tier 9 research ships. Burp. We have, there's 5 in the game right now. Current range is 43,000 to 51,000. It's going to be standardized at 43,000. 43. Okay, so collectively, the tier 9 research bureau ships just came down in price. So that's good. But then when you look at tier 10, that's going to jump up to 62,000. So let's go to tier 10. 62. Just trying to process that in my head. So Dude's going to go up, Colbert's going to go up, Vampire 2 is going to go up, Hull's going to go up, Sevastopol's going to go up, Gilbatrar is going to go up, Cecilia's going to go up, British is going to go up. Slava will come down. So that's a hardcore nerf. So that's a big swing compared to the tier 9s versus the tier 10s. So all your tier 10 ships became more expensive, meaning you probably have to do another reset if you're grinding for that. So what I want to read from, maybe I can put a screenshot on the screen. Midnight says, since I did the math for another thread, I might as well put it here too, assuming the devlog's numbers go live. The total cost of all tier 9 to tier 10 coal ships will be 391,000 coal, or 391,000 less than it is now. For all coal ships though, the total price drops 588,000 with Key's corrected price, where it was, I think, 518, but now it's 588. The total cost of all steel ships will be 28.5k more than they're now. So that's a nerf. The total cost of all the research bureau ships will be around 12,000k more expensive. But with the new prices, every tier 10 except Ohio and Slava will require an additional reset over the current price if you don't have a max level clan bonus. Then the total cost of all current listed doubloon ships will be 122,000 less than now. However, if you just look at the total for the tier 10s, the coal ships are going to cost 200,000 more. The steel ships are going to cost 23,000 more. And the research bureau ships are going to cost 30,000 more. And let's be honest, when you play in the game, more people play tier 10 than they play tier 9. Because if you play tier 9, what's going to happen? You're going to be most likely up tiered. You're going to be bottom tiered, right? You can go up against higher tiers. So then it's making tier 10 ships more valuable, while kind of, I don't know if I want to say diss the tier 9s. But now you made tier 10 ships more difficult success in the game. So for the most part, the battleships and carriers are the ones that benefit most in these changes, while the destroyers are usually being hurt the most. Loyang, Leningrad, Sims, Blisk are all increasing more than 30% for doubloons. Tachibana is increasing by 20%, and Tachibana's Lima increasing by a massive 60%. Blisk's also going to cost almost 50% more if you buy it for coal. So keep that in mind when these changes go through. I don't want to take much more time on this because I think I'm already spending more time on this video than I anticipated, but hey, this is a lot of stuff going on. Here you can see the entire list for coal, doubloon, steel, and research points. So I'm curious what happened with black. Epic. So black is going to drop by 11,000 coal. So it's actually good that I haven't bought black yet. What about Immelman? 260. And where's our British Malta? 260. Price for coal. And what were those two ships now? I'm looking with you guys in this, so you have to bear with me. So Malta and Immelman are coming down. Okay. Yeah, so it's all there. Then we did for doubloons. How much does a Carl Johan cost now? 19,300. Okay, well that comes down. Yeah, definite nerf for the tier 10 research bureau ships. And then, yeah, you're losing out on more steel now. Steel ships, 10. So FDR is coming down. Austin went up, and I already have Austin. Austin was 29,000, so... I feel like this is a move. Wargaming was complaining about inflation in their game. And I just feel like that if they're actually, like, it's that big of a deal to them in a digital currency, like, they just won. They've increased the prices to match inflation in the game. Their argument, not mine. Container barge improvements. They're enhancing the user interface. Reduce friction, improve clarity, provide players more control and transparency when opening containers. We improve the interface flow to make the process opening containers faster and more intuitive. Opening animation toggle. Players can now choose to disable container openings animations entirely. This option is ideal for those who prefer fast reactions. Integrated container selection. The container selection process has been redesigned. Containers are now displayed in a scrolling list directly on the main screen, removing the need to navigate through a separate menu. Okay, so then you can just like come over here, click, I want to open those instead. Flexible opening options. Players will have additional choices in the amount of containers they may open at once, along with the addition of a new confirmation window to prevent accidental mass openings. To make container words more clear and more accessible, we've introduced several key improvements. Detailed reward information. The updated interface now allows players to view drop chances and breakdowns for each container type. Functionality similarly to how rewards are displayed in the armory. Guaranteed reward counter. A visible counter now shows the number of containers remaining until the guaranteed reward is granted for applicable container types. This provides clear tracking for long-term progression. Improved reward presentation. Rewards obtained from containers are now visually prioritized. High-value rewards are displayed more prominently with larger icons and top positioning in the reward listing to ensure they stand out. These interface improvements are part of our broader effort to refine and modernize various few elements across the game. Okay, so let's just open these images. These two. Okay, so what we see here is guaranteed drop in 12. Detailed information. So you could click on that. That might be what this is. Yeah, detailed information. This pops up. Each says mega gift container, that's what that is. Includes one of the following items from the following list. 1, 10, or 100. So you have 100 here. So that's kind of why they're saying. In terms of ease of access, I like it. I mean, again, yes, broader efforts to improve the UI elements across the game. But all I feel like they're doing is they're kind of putting more of the, what do you want to say? The monetization, the gotcha of the game more in your face. the gacha more accessible. Description of the images. Okay, whatever. Ship rotation. This is also going to be interesting. Also, starting update 14.6, we're introducing a ship rotation system to streamline the increasingly crowded armory and premium shop. Over the years, a vast number of premium ships have been released, making it difficult for players to navigate and evaluate their options. This new system will keep the most popular ships available for sale, while rotating other ships both new and old through the armory on a regular schedule. This system will provide access to a wider variety of content, including previously released ships such as Brisbane, Alamontagara, Nottingham, and Numancia, which will return in update 14.6 as part of the first rotation set available for doubloons. Additionally, Nottingham will also be available for coal. With this, the intention is to establish a regular interval in which groups of ships will be rotated in and out of these stores. 2 new ships, Irresistible and Relium de Oresta, will be available from update 14.5 for 62,000 research points and 31,000 steel respectively. So they're already jumping in on the new pricing model. Additionally, 2 rare ships, San Diego and Lian, will be removed from the armory in update 14.6. San Diego will return as the final reward as a part of a free event collection in update 14.7, while Lian remains available through the Italian Destroyers collection. Oh boy. How it works. Ships will be separated to one of 4 initial planned groups for rotation. The groups are designed to be as evenly distributed as possible in total number of ships, nations, classes, and tiers. Each group of ships will be available for 6 updates at a time. Wait, half a year? Each group of ships will be available for 6 updates at a time. This means that if a group is introduced in version 14.6, the ship will be available until update 15.0. A group of ships may be out of rotation for a maximum of 6 updates. So half a year you don't have access to those ships. Wow, wargaming. The deployment of groups will be staggered, so at any given point there will be 2 groups of ships available with a new group of ships rotating in every... What? Okay, what is going on here? The deployment of groups will be staggered. So at any given point, there will be 2 groups of ships available with a new group of ships rotating in every 3 updates. Okay, I had it in my head. I feel like I understood it, and then I lost it again. So what they're saying is that every 3 updates, they bring in a new ship. Or new groups of ship. So basically quarterly. But you're still gonna lose access to certain ships for 6 months at a time until that rotation comes back in. And did I read right that they said there'd be 2 groups available at a time, or only? Did we read 2 groups were staggered? So there'll be 2 groups of ships available with a new group of ships. Okay. Ship rotations will be announced 1 update in advance in the following manner. Within a version update article patch notes, ships intended to rotate out will be tagged with a specific identifying filter in their army and will be placed in the filtered subgroup. Placed in a special subgroup above all others in the premium shop to spotlight them. Who is asking for this wargaming? Why are you confusing this? So in my head, my instinct is why are they making it more confusing? And if let's say I had a lot of money or something like that, I'd be like, okay, I want to avoid this confusion. I just want to go buy this ship so I don't have to figure out when the ship will be in a group or not in a group for 6 months. I feel like it just pushes you to just buy more ships so you can you don't have to deal with this. With the new uncommon ship is introduced, it will be assigned to a rotation group and become available again 69 updates after its initial release. Each ship will be available as part of its group for 6 updates offered through direct sales for doubloons. When a new uncommon ship is introduced, it will be assigned to a rotation group and become available again 6 to 9 updates. But uncommon. But I just thought they said in a group it would be max of 6 updates without said ship. See the confusion? See my confusion? Rare ships will continue to debut through events or other special free activities to make future access more predictable. Ships released within a rolling 12 update block. Wait. Okay, but what category? Are they talking about different categories of uncommon, rarity, and epic ships? And they'll have different windows of time they're available? To make future access within a rolling 12 update block. Will become available for purchasing during an annual summer festival. As one would expect, the majority of rare ships released throughout the year will be present in Christmas Santa containers. Each ship in the block will follow a minimum wait time of 4 updates and maximum of 15 updates before eligible. The same update block system will repeat annually, allowing players consistent opportunities to obtain rare ships. During the summer festival, newly added rare ships will be available for direct purchase. This is so confusing! Okay, down here we have uncommon. Here we have rare ships. Okay, so I was right. They're changing the pattern depending if it's an uncommon ship or a rare ship. Okay, so then here you have group 1, group 3, group 1, group 4, group 2, group... Look at this! Look at this, guys! Oh my gosh. Wow. My brain, like, I've had a long day, not gonna lie, but my brain hurts trying to wrap my head around this. I mean, the visual representation, thank you Wargaming for giving a visual representation, but why? I say why, and I already know what the answer is. Money. Say I have a tinfoil hat on. All I see, the only thing that I see that benefits Wargaming in doing this is money. Let's go back to up here. Let's see what they said. Making it difficult for players to navigate and evaluate their options. In what world does this make it less difficult for me as a player that you go and decide to do this? How is this easier than how the game already currently is? Wow. Hey guys, difficult for players. We're too stupid to understand that all ships are currently available for us now. So Wargaming's gotta make it easier. This feels so greedy on so many levels in terms of the monetization. The beginning of the end of World of Warships. The beginning of the end. People probably said that about submarines, and they're probably right to an extent. Oh, this is my personal opinion. There's no like objective date that we can say the beginning of the end is. I mean, when you see the player numbers, server populations go down, like, ironically, the Leicester Studios version went up, but now Russia oligarchs, the state wants to basically take Leicester Studios assets and everything, because they've do this whole court system, which was that court hearing today for Leicester Studios? Was it the 28th or was it the beginning of June? They saw all the money Leicester Studios made, all the new players, server population boosted, because Leicester Studios was like, we're gonna develop the game with actual game mechanics, while World of Warships is like, we're gonna develop the game for monetization, and that's gonna outrank actually developing the game. Like, meaningful. List of ships that will temporarily leave Armory and Premium Shop in update 14.6. Wow. Collingwood rare. Wow. Fear of missing out. Buy it before you miss out, guys. Trade-in event. Help players prepare for the upcoming changes. Oh, so nice of you, Wargaming. Thanks for helping us out. Create the problem, sell the solution. We're gonna help you out on the trade-in events. We were bringing back the trade-in event to a special tab in the Armory for the last 2 weeks of update 14.5. Okay, seriously, like, just do it for the whole month. Do it for 4 weeks. Why 2 weeks only? It's an opportunity to exchange your old ship for a discount on the purchase of a premium or special ship with doubloons. There has been a slight update to the list of ships compared to the previous trade-in events. Those are ships that players can receive. Okay, and then list of ships that players can trade. They did fix a price for Key with Coal, which Midnight already caught when he updated in his post. Create the problem, sell the solution. We're going to help you out with the difficulty we're introducing in the game because it's too difficult for you guys. There's too many options on the table. This is too difficult for the player base. Too difficult. This is too difficult, guys. They gotta take ships away because it's too difficult for us to wrap our heads around because there's so many ship options in the game. Like, okay, maybe this is the American in me. I like going in the Walmart and walking down the cereal aisle and seeing all the options. It's like the same way, like if Wargaming, as an example, was like if Walmart said, hey guys, there's too many cereal options for you. It's too difficult for you as the customer to navigate and making your option of what cereal to buy. So starting in July, we're going to introduce the system where only certain cereals will be available for you to buy in these 4 different groups. The maximum amount of time you'll be without certain cereals will be 6 months, but we're going to make it easy in that we have 2 groups rotating, so you'll only be missing out on 2 groups at any given time. But then some cereals are even more rare, the Frosted Flakes, and they're only going to be available on a year-to-year basis. I really hope that that's a good analogy, and I'm not just like completely missing the point here. But there's too many cereal options for you guys. Okay, but my point being in this, the Western world, or let's say North America, like, we're a very consumerism society. I like having options. I live in Norway now, and there's a lot less options in the grocery store. So this won't make sense to you unless you're like Scandinavia or you've been to Norway. So when I go to Rema 1000, there are a certain amount of cereal options available in the back of the store. If I go to OBS, or if I go to Coop, they have more cereal options, right? So sometimes when I'm missing out on cereal, I'll go to those stores to get the type of cereal that I might want, because they're a larger grocery store. They have more options. A Kiwi might not have as many options, right? So as a consumer, you start navigating to what stores have more options if you're picky about a certain thing, right? But the consumer aspect of me is I want all of this. I want the whole buffet. Put it out in front of me. Let me enjoy walking around this beautiful store, looking at all the options on the buffet, and after careful consideration, I'll figure out what ships to put in on my plate from the buffet, and then I'll check out. It's too difficult as it is, guys. This is a money-making move. Okay, let me get to my one of my big points that I want to make with this video. I've already said it at the beginning. This is the beginning of the end of World of Warships. I'm so annoyed with wargaming and the direction this game has gone in the last 2 to 3 years, where all I see is a increased push for monetization and a lack of meaningful development of the game, whether we're talking about carrier mechanics, AA mechanics. Like, the reason why I had these tabs up is I was trying to find a waterline update for 2024. I don't think Wargaming had a waterline update for 2024. I looked. If I missed it, guys, put it in the comment below. I know they do these roadmaps. I didn't see a roadmap for 2024. I thought there was one for sure, unless Wargaming just outright deleted it. I don't know. But, you know, I go through these waterline updates, and I'm like, okay, where's the game been? You know, I can put these in the description below. You know, all we've gotten is more submarines in the game. We've gotten more aircraft carrier branches. We've got a sound update in the game here. We got hybrid ships, more planes in the game. I don't see anything meaningful else there. We got some more cruisers and destroyers, nice. Then we got a hybrid destroyer. Then we got new super ships in the game. We got a quote-unquote new map, is a map that already existed before. You know, then you go to fall 2024, where it has been done. We just noted that. We come down here, Spanish cruisers. Then we got more graphics or more sound improvements. Mechanics for aircraft, new aircraft carriers like those. I think it was the mines and that. More on super ships. You get to see more various things that reflect the monetization of the game. We got more submarines. The only really meaningful to me that thing in terms of actual development of the game that Wargaming has done is more different battle type modes, particularly around PvE. I think that's the only most meaningful thing to me Wargaming has done these last years. And that's all I can think of. And then we're still walking through these changes and delays on the aircraft carriers and mechanics and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me, all I see is an increased monetization of the game and a lack of development. And I think as time has gone by, when Leicester Studios separated from Wargaming, basically, is that Leicester Studios was the ones that were actually doing the actual meaningful development of the game. And so that's why you had so many people leaving the EUNA and Asia server in favor of jumping over to Leicester Studios. They were giving Leicester Studios money because Leicester Studios was actually making meaningful content in developing the game, because players, generally speaking, were quite happy. Now, unfortunately, it's a studio that exists in Russia. And when the state sees you make lots of money, what do? They take it from you. And you've already had, 200 layoffs or something in the studio? Because of them accusing Leicester working with Wargaming and not being, like, basically, I don't remember the phrasing here, but basically enemy, like, of the state, like, I forget the English term. And then here's World of Warships. We'll give you Blisk 44. We'll give you not only Prince Van Orania, we'll give you Prince Van Orania Golden. Oh, you don't want just, this ship? We'll make a copy and paste of the same ship. You don't want just a North Carolina tech tree? We'll give you North Carolina CLR. You don't want just Hindenburg? We'll give you Azure Lane Hindenburg. Now, Azure Lane makes more sense in the game and selling those type of ships. Like, I get it. Like, I think they should just do skins of the actual tech tree ships. But the art of, like, hey, you already own this. Let's copy and paste it, because that's all we know how to do. You have the newer British destroyer Eskimo, or something, however you want to call it, and it's just tweaked a tiny bit differently. I mean, come on. Who are you kidding? Wargaming is, like, lacking in the development of their game. And this is my theory, okay? And I gotta end this because it's like, bro, I've already gone, I'm about to hit 45-minute mark now. What I don't understand with wargaming is this. Like, I care about the game. I want, like, hear me clearly, wargaming. I want wargaming to succeed. I want World of Warships to succeed. But they make it increasingly frustrating as the player base that it's like wargaming doesn't want their own product to succeed. Their focus is how can we make more money, which honestly a company should operate in that sense, but not alienate the players, not alienate the community contributors, because they're unhappy with them or they kick them out of the community contributor program and say, we know best. We know best. We know for a fact that having too many options is difficult for you to navigate. And what do? They insult the player base. So to help you with these upcoming changes, to help you with these things that we're doing, because this is better than what's currently already in the game. Getting to my point. I wonder if, I mean, I haven't made this video yet, and I'm really sorry because I keep talking about doing it. But basically, my theory is this. Wargaming, the higher-ups, right? Maybe they push the devs, and they want the devs to make more money. You have produced X amount of money in, let's say, October 2023. In October 2024, we expect you to make us 5% more in 2024 than in October 2023. In October 2025, we expect you to make 5% more than you did in 2024 now and going into 2025. So if there's that kind of pressure on the development of the game, that's really unhealthy. I don't know. This is just hypothetical. I have no evidence for this. The only evidence that we have is an increased monetization of the game. Then it puts pressure on the developers if they want to keep their job or whoever, marketing, whatever, to keep increasing the pressure of the monetization of the game. Okay, that's a very common, like I worked at a franchise, that was their approach, and they did it even more unhealthy than that. And then the only other thing I can think is why I say this is the beginning of the end, is wargaming knows, like most games only last for so long. They only last for such an extended amount of time, and most games end up being shelved. Some games go the long distance, that they're very popular for a really long time. And wargaming knows that the end's coming. So they're like, let's milk as much money out of the game before it dies. I don't know which of the two is true, or more likely than the other, but that's my theory. The only reason I can think of why wargaming does the things that they do is that it has to be option A or option B or both. Or perhaps it's option D, it's none of the above. And I don't understand as a player of the game of going now into 6 years, that I don't really understand wargaming and what they're doing with the game anymore and why they increase the monetization to the levels that they have. That I, as the consumer, don't understand the producer any more of the content that I take in. So, option B or option A seem most likely to me, or both. So, that being said, share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I'm sorry the video went way longer than I anticipated. I understand some of you may say, Flimsy, you should have done a part one and a part two. That I should have broke this video up in halves, but that's literally why there's timestamps on the bottom. You can watch half of this and come back. Other people will say, if I did do part one, part two, other people would say I should have just done the video in whole one take. It's subjective. Everyone has an opinion on something, but I'm just going to do this video as a whole. So that's how it's going to go. So if you liked this video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you subscribe, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and hope you guys have been having a good week so far. So, till next time, take care.